The sun beat down relentlessly on the dusty arena as I stood among the chanting crowd, my heart racing with every passing moment. It was as if the very air I breathed was electric with anticipation, as if the collective energy of these thousand-strong throng was propelling me toward the unforgiving spectacle that was to come. And yet, despite the palpable excitement that gripped the atmosphere, I cannot help but feel a creeping sense of unease, a nagging sense of discomfort that threatened to undermine the thrill of it all. You see, I was just any ordinary spectator, merely a pawn in the grand game of Roman entertainment. Oh no, I was something far more sinister, a gladiator, or rather an undercover journalist masquerading as one determined to peel back the layers of deceit and expose for what it truly was this blood-soaked spectacle that had captivated the Roman Empire. It was a role that required me to don the very mantle of brutality and bloodlust that had defined the sport, to immerse myself in a world that was equal parts gruesome and fascinating. As I surveyed the scene before me, I cannot help but be struck by the sheer scale of it all, the sprawling arena teeming with life, the towering columns that seemed to pierce the very heavens, and above all the imposing figure of my trainer, the fearsome and unforgiving Marcus. His eyes like two glinting obsidian stones, and yet despite the trepidation that coursed through my veins, I felt an insatiable hunger, a burning desire to uncover the truth that lay beneath this vaunted facade. It was a hunger that had driven me to abandon my life as a journalist in the city, to leave behind my colleagues and friends, to risk everything in the pursuit of a story that would shake the very foundations of Roman society. And so I had come to this place, a veritable pit of despair, where the very fabric of human existence seemed to hang in the balance. It was a place where life and death walked hand in glove, where the boundaries between them were blurred to the point of absurdity. As I took my first tentative steps into the arena, a collective gasp seemed to rise from the crowd, a murmur of excitement and anticipation that seemed to build in intensity with every passing moment. And I, for one, was caught up in the tide, my heart racing with anticipation, as I gazed out upon the sea of expectant faces, their eyes burning with an insatiable hunger for the violence that was to come. But I knew that the truth was far more complex, that beneath the surface of this brutal spectacle lay a world of politics and intrigue, a world of power and corruption that threatened to consume us all. And it was this very world that I had set out to expose, a world that had been shrouded in mystery and myth for centuries. As I began to explore the labyrinthine tunnels and chambers beneath the arena, I cannot help but be struck by the sheer scale of it all, the sprawling complex of rooms and corridors that seemed to stretch on forever, the crumbling frescoes that told tales of a bygone era, and above all the eerie silence that hung over it all like a pall. It was as if the very walls seemed to whisper secrets in my ear, as if the ghosts of ancient gladiators seemed to haunt every step I took. And yet, despite the sense of unease that threatened to overwhelm me, I pressed on with determination and conviction, driven by a burning desire to uncover the truth that lay beneath this vaunted facade. As I delved deeper into the heart of this ancient world, I found myself drawn into a web of intrigue and deception that seemed to rival the most complex of modern-day conspiracies. It was a world where allegiances were forged and broken with the same. And yet, despite the trepidation that coursed through my veins, I knew that the truth was worth fighting for, the truth that lay beneath this blood-soaked spectacle, the truth that had captivated and consumed the Roman Empire for centuries. As I emerged back into the blinding light of day, the sounds and smells of modern Rome flooding my senses, I cannot help but feel a sense of disorientation, as if I had been transported to a different time and place altogether. And yet, despite the sense of dislocation that threatened to overwhelm me, I knew that the truth had been revealed, that the veil of myth and deception had been lifted to reveal a world that was both brutal and fascinating, the world of ancient Rome's gladiatorial games. It was a world that would haunt me for the rest of my days, a world that would forever change the way I viewed human existence, as a delicate balance between life and death, where the very fabric of human society hung precariously in the balance.